And I'm going to talk about the Great Transformation. What is this? And yeah, to explain what I mean with this, I'm going to start with Jeremy Rifkin. Who all of you knows him? Raise your hands. Okay, 1, 2. Okay, 3, 4. Okay, so some of you. He's a professor for economies in the USA, and well, he's an advisor for the European Union. He's an advisor for Germany. So Angela Merkel invited him in her first week as Chancellor, and he's also, for example, advisor for China, for the Chinese government, and the 5-year plan that started this year in 2016 is based on his ideas. So he's one of the really important guys, and he wrote a book in 2014, and it's called The Zero Marginal Cost Society, the Internet of Things, the Collaborative Commons, and the Eclipse of Capitalism. Okay, let me explain. So what he's doing is he's looking at technologies and the progress in technologies and the consequences for economy and societies. So the last big industrial revolution is based on fossil fuels and led to a centralized energy supply with big power plants. It led to cars, and it led to electricity and the phone, for example. And now we are experiencing another industrial revolution, mainly based on the internet, but not only. So the internet makes, well, it connects the world, of course, and it builds communities, or it makes it possible to build communities. The internet is, by the further digitalization, just connecting to more parts of the world. And there are also other technologies that are as decentral as the internet. For example, renewable energies. Small units that produce power, and also a very decentral technology, as well as the so-called 3D printers. It's a very new technology, and this makes it possible to produce cheaper and more efficient real material things like this. So this is produced by a 3D printer, and I give it to you, give it back to me after the talk, please. And actually, this piece can't be produced by the traditional technologies. So we have the internet, we have renewable energies, and we have 3D printers. All technologies make things more effective and cheaper, and the 3D printer and the renewable energies make things even more sustainable. So all these decentral technologies are possible or allow to build up so-called collaborative commons. A commons is like a group of people that can be really big as well, where you have a resource that you produce or that you use, and you give your own rules to yourself and share it. This can happen with money, but also without. And Jeremy Rifkin says that the collaborative commons are fitting much better to the decentralized world that is developing than the capitalism does. And he says the capitalism will, well, it will not totally vanish, but it will decline. And it will decline because these collaborative commons allow to produce things cheaper. So they allow a zero marginal cost society. Okay. Now I want to show you some examples of that. So the older ones of you know Napster, one of the first file sharing projects. All of you know YouTube, the Pirate Bay. These are internet-based projects that allow file sharing for free. You all know free software like Firefox or Linux as a whole. So Linux is an operating system that is dominant in electronics and servers, for example. And Wikipedia made the market for encyclopedias vanish. So here you have zero marginal cost for information, for software, for files alone. And most of these projects are commons-like. And you have these projects also in other fields of life. For example, when you look at your flats, you have Couchsurfing. That is a project where you can share your flat. So you can use the resource flat more effectively. And this is for free. Airbnb is known to you. And we have it in the food sector. We have food sharing, meaning food that would be wasted can be used by other people. Or community-supported agriculture. That's actually what the name is. It's an agriculture. It's farms that are community-financed and support them with food. We have, of course, eBay, what's also very decentralized to share things that we don't need, for example. And we have car sharing, of course. We have renewable energies. And well, in Germany, there's one, for me, quite interesting project. It's My Basic Income, or in German, Mein Grundeinkommen, where you have people that connect over the internet, and every one of them gives some euros per month on a konto, on a bank account, and one of the people that participates gets a basic income for 1 year. And this is a project with over 50,000 people. Okay, so we see there are a lot of projects that are commons-like, and what's the common of all these projects is you have a community. So decentralized individuals that connect somehow, and you always need a core, some team, some startup or something like that connects it and manages it a little bit, as we have heard in the last one, of course. And well, these projects can be organized by companies, but as far as I experience, these companies are not, they come from another time, a time that is not decentralized, but a time of big centralized structures. And well, all big companies have such community projects, but I'm not sure if they will manage to cope with the change, the massive decentralization that happens. So let's take a look in the energy sector. So we have here the share prices of E.ON. It's a big German energy supplier, and as you can see, the share price raised, but in 2008 it declined hardly, or it declined strongly because of the financial crisis, and since that it declines and declines and declines. This is now 6.40 €. So the traditional energy companies, they cannot really good cope with renewable energies. And renewable energies are not only more sustainable, but also cheaper than the coal and the nuclear power plants. So in the energy sector, we can say their time will be over, and the future belongs to energy communities. I don't know if you know it, but in Germany, more than half of all renewable energy power plants belong to citizens. And they can just much better cope with this decentralized form of energy production. And the question again is, well, when we have this kind of decentralization, also, Jeremy Rifkin says, okay, capitalism won't cope with it, so he suggests collaborative commons. So the question is, who will make the race, or what system will make the race? And well, one thing that I said is that it's hard for big companies to adapt to these changes. Another thing is that companies within capitalism are profit-oriented. They have to, because they compete with each other. And that means that needs, like the human needs, or the needs of the environment, well, they are not as important as the profit. And for collaborative commons, the financing, the funding, is usually done by other ways, and so they can work need-oriented. And well, this makes some things easier. And here you can see some problems that are consequences of the profit orientation of the companies. So profit is more important than environment and than people. And here you can see a brown coal pit in the east of Germany. I visited it last summer, and you can see there are thousands of square kilometers that get dug away, and you see just these new landscapes. And this is a Hambach wood. It's in the west of Germany. It's a wood that is thousands of years old, and the wood will vanish due to the another brown coal pit. And here there's a small village, Kuku, also in the western part of Germany, that will vanish in 2026 due to brown coal pit. And this is a problem of the coal-based power supply, and it's not only a German problem, but it's a problem all over the world. So in Colombia, there's the biggest brown coal pit, black coal pit of the world, and well, 3,000 people died due to because they had to leave their places. 30,000 people had to leave their places in order to make space for the extra pit. And some weeks ago, we had in Bremen two people, one from Colombia, that talked about that. And she also cried during the talk. And we had a person from South Africa. And well, in South Africa, there are also coal pits that supply the coal for German energy supply. And there's the most poisonous air of the world. More poisonous than in, well, Chinese cities or in New York. So, I'm not only talking about climate change, I'm talking about what profit orientation makes to our world. And so the question for me is how to build collaborative commons. And that's what we are doing in Bremen. We are doing it in the energy sector, and I'm going to show you how. So, I said before, community building is an important part of it, and we do it in the energy sector with so-called energy saving parties. So, we make like Tupperware parties in homes of the people, and just talk about how one could save energy and also products. Here you can see some pictures of it. And we also make a lot of talks and information and discussion events. Here's one, you can see. And moreover, you not only need a community, you need to somehow produce wealth, of course. So only community doesn't help. So here you can see the collaborative energy commons that we are building in Bremen. So we have 1,600 electricity customers, and these are the customers, and they, of course, they pay for green electricity. And a part of the money goes into the building up of solar energy power plants. And they produce electricity, and therefore they produce money. And the money goes into projects that make the world better, and actually the people themselves that finance that, they can decide what projects are funded. And now at the moment, it's well 1 month to go, then one further project gets funded. And yeah, that's the first impression of what we do. So if you have further questions, we can discuss it shortly here now, but we can also talk about it in a workshop that is taking place in some moments. And in this workshop, we do also energy saving game.